Yo, yo, yo. Hustle, what it do? Manny, what it do? Francis, how you doing? Welcome to The Confirmation. Yeah, that's the official name now. The Confirmation. Yeah. Hope y'all doing good this Friday. I'm only here to kick off y'all weekends, give y'all a little more confidence. That's about it. And then I send you on your way. Arctic Wolf, how you doing? All right, so y'all already know the routine. Y'all got some tickles. Go ahead and put them in the chat. No more than 2 per though. You know what I'm saying? The last one was 2 hours. Manny, how you doing, man? Okay, they closed. It just closed an hour ago. First day off, man. Hey, I know that's a great feeling. All right, so I'm gonna go over to Broad Market, and then I'm gonna start going in particular tickers that I found based off alerts, and some that I found on my own. And then I go over the ones that y'all provide. All right, so we got SPY up first, because that's the only ticker we really care about, really, you know. All right, so looking at the month on SPY, SPY is on aggressive with strong momentum on the breakout, which is good for us. Right now, we got blue skies, but what you always want to do when we got blue skies ahead is to fib it out. So we got a major fib at 771. That's a long way from where we at, but I wouldn't doubt it. That's feasible. All right, now we're gonna go to the week. So we just got we're coming off on the arc candle and closed this week with a floater above this level that I mentioned, the WTMA cloud last week. So we're pretty bullish right now. And as you can see, we stopped reacting to every headline. Like we micro react now. So everything looking pretty good. Let's see. All right, and the day goes all wonky. I'm not even going. All right. So yeah, weekly look good. We got a lock counter. We got a floater too. And we cleared the WTMA cloud. So everything looked good on that front. We'll look at the 3-day. Same thing with the 3-day. We got multiple floaters, multiple level 3 candles as well. And then finally on the day. Now we are trading inside of the WTMA in the 12. So we can get a little choppy. I'm not sure if how many of y'all remember, but you know, once we start doing that the first time, you know, that's when we end up with this sideways action for a long time, for months before the drop. So don't get too comfortable. All right, let's look at Dow. All right, so Dow still trying to reclaim the WTMA. It reclaimed the signal line, and it closed above the previous month high right now. But I mean, we still got one more week before this monthly can reclaim that previous month high. All right, on the week, fresh arc candle with a floater that's bouncing off a fair value gap, so that's good. Now we need to reclaim this WTMA cloud And then we need to reclaim this WTMA liquidity line at 500. I'm gonna mark that on my chart. Add alert. Boom. We definitely need to clear that, and then we'll push up into this supply where we'll more than likely sweep for a little bit and then make all-time highs on the Dow. All right, so we just cleared this trend line. We closed over this trend line on the 3-day, which is good. We still need to reclaim this WTMA cloud. And what do you know right here, the WTMA cloud correlates with the weekly liquidity level as well. And we're still inside, well, we're inside of the WTMA and the 12 again. So this basically has the same setup, except but the Dow is not at all-time highs like SPY and IWM. Oh man, I left my trade plan on him, man. Hey, if y'all ain't got no trade plan on IWM, you are wrong. All right, so looking at the monthly on IWM, extremely bullish. All-time highs. Made a new high, came back down to retest last month, even retested this month again, and now we're making a strong candle up, strong momentum, and aggressive move. All right, looking at the week, fresh arc candle. Which one of these things the arc candle, man? it's literally between both of these. So I'm gonna call this the lock candle. Then we got a float candle, and then you got my trade plan lines up here. If you ain't got the Roux protocol trade plan, man, go ahead and get you one. All right, so now looking at the 3-day, we had a close above this trend line. We got 1, 2, and 3 level 3 candles. This 3-day looks impressive to me because it has a long wick at the bottom, which is crazy because the bottom box of this box right here is my reload entries. So we got the primary and then we got the top of this box as the reload. So it hit both of those. So if you would have got in on this, you already got the confirmation on the 3-day. So all you got to do is drop down to the smaller time frames and catch you a fresh inverse arc, and you would have been running. SLC, how you doing? All right, looking at the daily, we are inside of the WTMA again. So all 3 indices are in the same predicament, except one is not at all-time highs. All right, so right now we got a previous all-time high retest yesterday. It successfully passed, and a 12 cloud retest. So, and right now we printed a doji on today. So not much movement from IWM as of lately. Well, as of today. But even today, the high was 278 and the low was 274. So that's like a $4 move. I mean, that's almost his ATR value. And looking at the S5 for market breadth, we're at 54.67. You know, we have an arc down and we reclaimed the 12 on the way down. So majority of stocks are not above their 200 that are in the S&P. And then we're looking at VIX. All right, so I want y'all to take note of this. The daily VIX, fresh inverse arc. We got multiple sweeps, buy-side sweeps. Now the 12 EMA is catching up. Well, it's meeting the WTMA right around this 200. And we all learned about the 200 bounce, you know, with all the tech stocks this week. So please do a trade plan on VIX. Let me look at the month and week. Yeah, we need to close them under that. Yeah, looking at the week, we're definitely going into support, heavy support at that, swing order blocks. So be prepared for, you know, a little drawdown once we get into this, 17 to 15, 18 area. So protect the portfolios. All right, now I'm gonna go into tickers. Yeah, got my trade plan up here. Actually, I need to redo it anyway. Did anyone catch Microsoft on the bounce today? Yay, nay. All right, looking at Microsoft on the monthly, we got a strong bounce, strong momentum, aggressive move. We're currently up $54.45 on the month, with the ATR being at a usual 46. So we're making a strong move up. Shook all day for Intel. Couldn't do anything else. You could have now, you know. Hey, congrats on that win. All right, so looking at the weekly, we just reclaimed the 200. We already had reclaimed the 12. So Microsoft is setting up for a pretty nice move. I'm gonna go ahead and line up this order block just so y'all can see what I'm seeing. All right, now get this rectangle right here. All right, so looking at this area where the VRVP tapers off, this is letting you know that Microsoft can run. If anything, the first sign of resistance is probably going to be this WTMA cloud once it gets up there. But even then, the nodes are so thin that it can just explode right through that. I didn't get into Microsoft. There's so much meat on them bones today. Man, I'm trying to tell you. I probably got in like the perfect bounce. I don't know. Let's see the 3-day. So the 3-day is still under the 200, but we definitely came out of a swing order block, which is insane. This is exactly where you want to be buying stuff. It mitigates your risk. And on the daily, we're still under. Let me line up these. On the daily, we're still under. But I mean, it's definitely making higher lows and higher highs on the way back up. So we're probably going to reject first off of this, which is right before this high node area. Pull back to give, some more people some entries. But we are trading inside of the WTMA. So be weary. Let's see. All right, here's Meta on the monthly, arcing down hard. You can tell that the WTMA is acting as resistance right now. So definitely we need to reclaim the WTMA on the monthly time frame. Once we get that, you'll start to see this curl up, and it's gonna be off to the races for Meta. Is it about to storm? I think it is. That's not good. Don't knock my power out, please. All right, so looking at the weekly, remember I said something about the 200 bounce? So we got the order block here. That so happens to meet this 200 cloud. And as soon as it came down and touched this order block, poof, strong move up. So this was a $168 move in 3 weeks. Insane. Imagine getting like a contract just because it's at an order block and in the 200. And it completed a neck, head and shoulder pattern. So got the neck, the shoulder, the head, and then the other shoulder right here. Completed that and then exploded up. All right, looking at the 3-day, same order block that it tapped. We got a inverse arc, floater, lock, pullback, another pullback right onto this trend line, and a doji to finish off today. Well, to finish off this 3-day candle. So we definitely want to get out of this, this boxed up range right here before we see a little more headroom on Meta. So we're actually arcing down right now. And we reclaimed the 200 proper with the fair value gap that's holding us up as support right now. We actually closed above this trend line too. So that's extremely good. But if you line up the order blocks, you can see what can happen once, Microsoft clears this 680 area. Wasn't it last week that Miss Wolf was saying 674? I'm pretty sure it was last Friday. Hustle, how you doing? I'm pretty sure it was last Friday that Miss Wolf said Microsoft will go to 675, something like that. Pretty sure. I had to pull up my old video now. All right, then here goes some of the ones that I was just searching through. So we got Baidu. When are they earning? May 18th. So you grab a May 15th contract. You can play the run up, but I'd rather get contracts after the earnings. That are, expires after the earnings, but definitely play the run up. So looking at the monthly, we're trapped in supply and demand. We're bouncing off a fair value gap, and we're reclaiming the 12 on the monthly time frame and the WTMA cloud. Now this way it gets out a little rough, but we got a fresh inverse arc this week, a 12 reclaim, a 12 test because we reclaimed last week, but we retest. We went under the 12 and retest, and now we closed above this previous month high and previous week high. So right now, Baidu is looking to accelerate up, but it needs to pass this 135.50 level and then 154.10. Tesla, oh no. Wait, they got news coming? Don't say that. Ooh, this 3-day looks clean. All right, so looking at Baidu on the 3-day looks crazy. You got a 200 bounce, reclaim, floater, retest again off a fair value gap, and close above the previous month high and previous week high. All right, so now you're looking at tapered off VRVPs up into 157. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on them. I am going to do a trade plan on them just in case, but I'm going to keep these on standby for now. But looking at the daily, anybody want to know why I put this ticker on my watch list? Does anybody know why? Can anybody see what's about to possibly happen? And then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna I'm gonna do that. I gotta put Tesla on my list now. I need to look at that. No takers. All right, so we reclaimed the 200. We got the 12 coming up to the 200 and the WTMA cloud. Once Baidu breaks those, price is gonna go crazy. All right, so because that's like probably more strong than just a regular WTMA cloud and a 12, but you got reclaim of the 12. You got a 12 and 200 crossover along with a WTMA cloud and a 12 crossover. So that's why I put this one on my list, because it's going to produce one of those moves like this when it happens. Actually, I wonder what would have happened if I lined up that top order block. Yeah, see? Empty pockets. That's free money. Why is my Discord popping off? All right. So I hate I took my eye off these people. TSM. So TSM has been having a crazy month. As you can see, aggressive, strong momentum. It's currently up $64. So the ATR is expanding. Got a fresh, that's so fresh. That's so clean. So you got a weekly fresh inverse arc last week with the floater this week and a breaker structure. That's stupid confirmation. So what that tells me is you probably gonna have like an order block somewhere right here on like a smaller time frame, maybe the 3-day. Oh, it's down. It's up there. Yeah, hey, you know what? Whatever. So you got that order block right there. On the 3-day, we got on the 3-day time frame, you got the arc candle, floater, explosion, breaker structure. So what you want to look for here is a slight pullback. I mean, it's already doing that, but you typically want to look for the pullback to the breaker structure area for a retest. And after that, you probably can grab a 30-minute inverse arc or a 1-hour inverse arc and catch the ride back up. All right, on the daily time frame, you can see this thing gaps up and gaps down every day. It's really no real precise price action. I'm gonna go to the 8-hour on this one. There we go. Just to see what it actually looks like. It even gaps up between the daggone pre and aftermarket. That's crazy. Oh, there goes the order block I was talking about. So yeah, talk about confluence. We got fresh inverse arc, order block down here, floater, retest, explosive candle, and now a slight pullback into a fair value gap. So that's definitely what you want to look for in a stock like TSM, because when they do run, they run hard. And I think TSM has the better spreads out of the memory stocks for right now. Either them or Western Digital. I know STX has some crazy spreads. You don't want to get trapped in them. All right, so coin. So I have them on my watch list based off the price action of Bitcoin. So right now, we don't have a 200 on the monthly because it's that new. Looking at the weekly, we have a sustained inverse arc. So it's like a prolonged one. That means they just accumulating, but it's right in this 200 cloud. And we reclaim the 12 on this week. So I'm definitely looking for price to break over this 200 at around 220, because if you look over to the right, once you break that 220 zone, price can go crazy to 240 really quick. All right, got a fresh inverse arc on the 3-day as well with 2 floaters right after it. So now you can see that empty pocket a little more clear. The actual empty pocket is like 254. But you're gonna meet that 200 on the way there. So that's definitely an area of interest to be looking at on coin. I know Sean always rave about trading them, and I want to take my first trade on coin. Make some coin. All right, so currently we have a 1-day trigger on the daily time frame. So we definitely need a daily close above 213.50. After that, we can look at it to go up to at least 231 before a rejection at the 200 cloud. But the 200 rejection is not guaranteed. It may gap over it, honestly. Here's Bitcoin right here. That's the monthly. That's the weekly. This the one that caught my eye to make me even put coin on here. We got a weekly inverse arc, 12 reclaim last week, and now a 12 and 200 reclaim this week. Up to the rejection of the WTMA cloud. So coin can run if Bitcoin can run. Yep. There you go. Wow, this lines up exactly with the WTMA cloud on the week. That's crazy. All right. I put Wayfair on here. Oh, I knew it was something. I forgot. Oh, there we go. Oh, MSTR? Ooh. I didn't know you could retract messages. That's crazy. Let me see something. Oh. Ooh. Let me go ahead and add that on now. Let me just go ahead and add. All right. All right, so looking at Wayfair, you can see the highway that we have if it breaks above this 120 area. So I'm putting this on my watch just to make sure, you know, this trade doesn't get away from the group. Definitely gonna be doing a trade plan on them. But you can see the WTMA cloud when it's already starting to form, you can see that it's aggressively thin and already pointing upward. So looking at the weekly, we got that week inverse arc and a 200 retest. That's why I added it on here. So you see the previous high that it had, it just retested that right here off this inverse arc. And then you already see, I'll line up this order block, you already see that it's tapered off so well that, you know, it could make a move pretty quick. It moves $11.50 per week, and it's already on aggressive. So please keep an eye on Wayfair. And then on the day, definitely need to clear over this 200, but I'm gonna line it up again. You can see the VRVP once more. Empty pockets. Empty pockets fill our pockets. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with that. But yeah, we definitely need to clear this order block first. This will be the first acceleration up to the top of this 200 and this trend line. So that correlates so well that, you know, it basically predicts your trade for you. Let's see. Oh, Tesla. You said Tesla shorts? Cause it making higher highs and higher lows on the month. But man, them are monthly candles like that though. And again, this month ain't closed yet. I shouldn't even use that. Man, ooh, dude, Tesla. Yeah, it's in the wedge, but it's also channeling up though. It also channeling up. It ain't no perfect channel, but it's definitely channeling up too. Actually, I might have to use this one. Or I use the actual channel like I've been doing. What is that gonna thing it? It might be cleaner on the weekly time frame though. This is like an exaggerated move like crazy though. But it kind of correlates with a channel and a wedge, honestly. It's both of them. I just want to see which pattern it's stronger because Sean definitely called out, watch out for Tesla and do a trade plan. So, and this candle on the week just need 360s to hold. Oh yeah. So looking at the week, man, it just got an inverse arc. It ain't really cross over though. It's like still open, but I mean, it did reclaim last week and gave it right back in the empty VRVP node area. So it definitely needs to hold, what, 267 or just the WTMA. It needs to hold that. If it don't hold that, ooh-wee, because it could just be making a lower high, just and then just aggressively drop right down to this 200. Ooh. Hey, well, we kind of know where to go. But we know if it gets down here to this 200 and this order block, you know what's gonna happen. Let's see. Okay, so actually we got a daily arc inside of a fair value gap, and it lost the 12 today. Man, Tesla need to do some actual stuff to validate itself, because right now, like, it's in empty pocket range, and that drop could really drop. Like, it could be a mean drop right into some support though. And this where you will pull out the hustle video. So if y'all ever want to learn how to actually trade Tesla, you go to Pretty Hustle's page right here. You go to that and watch her latest video, and she'll teach you how to day trade Tesla. She actually used that strat today to probably make, I don't know how much she made, but it was hella percentages. So over 100%. I did see that. So holla at Pretty Hustle. All right, now let's go to Twilio. So I was telling Sean about this on the way home today. So Twilio has a monthly trigger that's on every chart, right? So every chart, the same trigger, which is crazy because, we're at the end of this month already, and it already swept more than once. So looking at the month, it needs to close over, where the high at? 151.95. I ain't seen many charts, but I ain't seen, a drop like this with empty VRVP nodes that aggressively, other than Zoom. Actually, I need to check on Zoom, but you can see once it closed over that 151.95 area, it can do whatever it wants to at that point. And they have earnings on the 30th of this month. So at the end of the month, when they're closing their monthly candle, wow, that's crazy. I think that's on purpose. Where you get your trigger at is at the end of the month when they do their earnings. You probably get a nosebleed for the cheap just to see. All right, looking at the weekly. So we buy side swept this week. That's good for, somebody who's waiting for this break to happen, because, we're bullish on every other time frame. So we got inverse arc, got a little chop action. They tried to push it down. It rejected that move. Now we swept this order block. Well, actually we swept this supply and this order block. So we're just trying to push out of this order block and above that supply, and then we can rip. But we're already above the WTMA cloud. We're above the 200 and above the 12. So everything's lining up pretty decent. Even on the daily, it's been down. It did an aggressive move down so fast that all the moving averages literally was under it. And now it's just, sizing up this huge move. But looking at the daily, it swept 2 days ago, came back down. Got to change the character, came back down to retest that. and then it went up from there. So we're still holding the 12. We are inside of the WTMA, and we almost closed above this liquidity level. But you can see, soon as this thing clears it, let me go on a 3-day. Soon as this thing clears it, put that right there, like that. It's gonna go straight up here to 176 and then sweep, and then then we have open range. This open range is from 177 to 256. So yeah, that's $80, and it moves $10 every 3 days. Let me look on the week. $13, and on the monthly it moves $24 on the ATR, and we have an aggressive move on the month already. That's gonna be my foot stomp ticker right there. I forgot to put NVIDIA on here. All right, MSTR. Is Michael Burry off of MSTR yet? Because every time his name is attached to a stock, I don't even look at it. That dude be tanking everything. How you tank Palantir? So looking at the month, we just reclaimed this WTMA cloud, but the month isn't closed, so that's pending. But I do see these VRVP nodes. Ooh-wee. Big moves can be made on MSTR. We do have a lock candle closing this week inside of the 200. We need to get in this range of like 175 to 176, and then we can aggressively start moving up. Once it clear this 200 at 210 though, it's gone. Look at the 3-day. Okay, so we do have a sweep incoming. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Oh man, we already in the tapered off zone. It could very well gap over this. I'm not gonna lie, especially since Bitcoin moves 24/7. If Bitcoin goes up, and it's like at like, where's Bitcoin? 77K. If let's say Bitcoin go to 80K, this is gonna gap up somewhere right around here, and then probably take off. So we definitely gotta monitor Bitcoin for MSTR and Coinbase. So right now we're at a rejection area off of the 200. I think it hit it to the penny. It did. So we got a rejection off the 200, like exactly. We're still holding above the signal line too. So that's like one of the uncommon tickers that's actually not trading inside of the WTMA. So we definitely want to get above this 198 on a daily. A daily close over 198. And it's only right that I talk about the darling of the stock market right now. I'm gonna pull up my trade plan for this because this was insane. I'm not even kidding. Like, the trade plan was too good. It was probably like one of my most accurate trade plans that I ever built. All right, so on the monthly, aggressive move, strong momentum. NVIDIA moves $25 a month. It's currently up $33 a month. So that's $8 over the ATR. We got a strong weekly closeout, inverse arc. Look at that arc candle. Jeez. All right, arc candle off of a sweep. Well, off of a sweep, it swept twice actually. So it swept this one, came back up, swept this one. Yikes. Okay. And then Mar Bazoo last week, and then swept at the top of this supply zone this week and closed. So looking at the 3-day, got the same thing. We do have a WTMA. I said a WTMA. Yeah, WTMA cloud and 12 breach. So please be on lookout for NVIDIA. So we already know when the WTMA and the 12, are flat like this, that it's just sizing up a huge move. So we'll go ahead and expand it out to the week. Not the week. Here we go. So looking at this, it's telling me, you know, we about to make a move. So you had a WTMA head and shoulders pattern, which is crazy to me to even see. It completed that pattern and ripped. Now we got a level 3 weekly candle. Level 3 weekly candle. Take notes on this. So this is what I did. I already knew that we was gonna close above this weekly. So I did a trade plan on the 9th. I want to say it was the 9th. Is it the 9th? Let's see. This thing cooked to epic proportion today, like insanely accurate. This is why it's important to train your black wolf. All right, so this is from the 19th, which is 5 days ago. So it gave me the narrative. It gave it a B grade. That's fine. But my trigger was a 30-minute close above 202 because that's where it would close over a supply. And the A trigger also was a 1 weekly convention confirmation and a 4-hour above 214. But we didn't get we got both of these except the 214 one. So I waited for the 30-minute. Waited on the 30-minute to close. And you can see that the close was 202.06. So I grabbed two 205 NVIDIA calls right then and there. And I don't think that trade got any drawdown whatsoever today, except, like up here. But the drawdown was minimal. This is why it's so important to use trade plans. Because, if you ain't got no trade plan, you're just going to be like, oh, I'm just going to buy it, just because it hit this demand down here. And then you don't know that a bigger time frame is like pressing down onto it or something. So this is why it's important to do trade plans. All right, so we swept on the weekly. Go back to the daily. So the daily, we just reclaimed the WTMA. So now we're just waiting on the close above 212. And, I honestly think that NVIDIA gonna catch up to AMD if we close over 212. So y'all be prepared on that move. All right, so them all the tickers that I got. Do y'all got any tickers that y'all want me to look at to go over? I wanted to look at BE, but BE was all janky today. Only today though. That cat call out went crazy this week. They went up $36. I remember that from the last week. Let's look at the S&P sectors. We got tech, who's ripping. I'm gonna do it on the weekly so it looks smoother. Healthcare took a hit today. Well, this week. All right. So you can see that tech is definitely leading the market right now. Strong. Cisco, okay, I got you. Communication, that's your Meta, that's your Google. They pulled back this week, but it did maintain its inverse arc from last week. So that pullback definitely probably gave us some opportunities to get in there. The energy sector actually is green this week, along with tech being green. So that's an anomaly. I think everybody is becoming desensitized to this war news, which I probably knew that was going to happen, because every other day, at every close of the session, we get news. Every pre-market, we get news. Every middle of the day, we get news. And every piece of news always contradict each other. It's like we get bad news at the market open. You get news in the middle of the day, and then you get good news soon as you sell out of all of your positions. So you definitely got to play the taco trade game right now. We got the industrials sector, got a fresh inverse and closed this week out on a doji candle. So that's a pause candle from this huge rip. It's going to correlate with your industrial stocks like Caterpillar, FedEx, Cummins, all of that. I'm pretty sure I said that last week too, though. This WTMA doesn't want to load. Oh, that's because it's not on the chart. That's crazy. Blue. All right, there we go. Ooh, fresh inverse arc on materials. So that's your lows. No. Actually, that's like your SLB, like your mining, company. So, that might be good. Healthcare took a hit. I don't know what news they had this week, but they took a hit. Utilities came down and they swept the 12. So they closed above the 12 EMA today on this week. So they're trying to reclaim and go back up. But I can also see that it's wedging on the weekly time frame. We got this action right here. We got that right there. So we got an ascending triangle on the way up. And then the consumer discretionary, we have a lock candle closing right at a trend line. So bouncing off a fair value gap. So we definitely look like we're about to go up to the upside on consumer discretionary. I know Walmart had a good week. I know a couple of y'all was trading it. I had my wife traded on her first trade, and she probably 100% the trade. So that was extremely good and exciting. Let's see. SMH. Wow. Oh, we broke over that trend line. So SMH on the monthly is up $123, and the regular ATR value is 45. So it's more than, 3 times its actual ATR value, which is insane. It's just melting up at this point. 2 lock candles after a breaker structure. It didn't even retest the breaker structure. It just ripped. Minimal drawdown on these weekly candles from SMH. That's the only pullback it had on a 3-day. So tech is definitely running the stock market right now. And then we look at Cisco. I think I did a plan on them last week. I think it called for 90 calls, I want to say. So looking at Cisco on the month, ooh, it channeled up and it broke out of the channel. It goes the channel right here. I'll put that right there. So it was in this, this predictable channel. And then it broke. Once it broke this high, it started accelerating. So that's why you see this huge, almost a Marabazu candle right after it broke the previous high. And then it started ripping up, held this trend line as a support, and then ripped up again. So now we're having the top of the old channel as support right now. And it actually lines up with the 12. That's crazy. So every time it tried to go down, it rejected that move pretty hard. Looking at the weekly, we got a fresh floater and a breaker structure on a weekly, which snapped in this order block. So Cisco is looking good. Aggressive move. 4.3 on the week. It only went up 276, but still got a breaker structure, so that's extremely good. Well above the 200. 3-day aggressive 2. Wait a minute, is all these time frames aggressive? 1, 2, 3. And what the daily? Okay, the daily is not aggressive. Okay. Man. Okay, so we got a fresh breaker structure on these 3-day candles, and then you got the retest that happened on this close. So it retested and rejected the down move. So I'm looking for more upside at this point. So this is where you want to get your fibs out. So 91.70 is a key level right now. But I am going to go on more time frames just to make sure. 95.76. The weekly is bugged out. It's down. It didn't even pop up. Oh, there we go. All right. I'm going to put this one up here too. Boom. 3-day. This one too. I definitely should be color coding these, but I just use my fib indicator for all this. All right, there we go. So right now we need to close above this 89.34 fib, because right now it's just testing this liquidity off of a fresh all-time high. So right now we need to close above this 89.34 area for it to move higher, and then it'll start testing the other liquidity levels from the different time frames. But overall, Cisco looks extremely good. They usually do a huge pullback after their earnings and then rip. That's what happened here. Huge drop down, come down to retest it 200, and then been climbing up ever since. I want to say I did a plan on it. Let me make sure. Let's see. Oh, Tammy did one. Oh, yeah. No, I didn't do one. I called out the top down on Cisco. Yep, that's what it was. Hey, appreciate. Hey, shout out to Tammy for hitting us up with them trade plans. Arctic 2. Things don't go unnoticed. I want to see what. I want to look on my screener so bad. You see, I am going to look on my screener. I am going to look at my screener. Let's see. Ooh, LIN. Oh, don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? That, hey, I was cooking in the lab with my, with Axiom. All right, so LIN. I know Brown Wolf always talk about this ticker, but if you pay attention to this one right here, this can make you a lot of cash. Screener nice. So if you're looking at the monthly, right, you got a fresh inverse arc. You got a fresh breaker structure 2 months ago. You got a retest of that on the fair value gap. Now you have two floaters consecutively above the WTMA cloud. Then you go to the weekly. Right, we're trading inside of the WTMA right now, but can anybody notice anything about this little area right here? What pattern is forming? I don't know why all my lines white. So we got this huge compression. So you already see that the WTMA is acting as resistance now. That's why you see it like start to like taper off. But we got a hard level right here. But the lowers are being higher. So you got higher lows with the same top, right? So now we're just climbing up. So we're going to get in this compression area at the end of this flag, and we're either going to break up or break down. And that's on a weekly time frame. You'll see a little more detail. So you got a 3-day trigger. You'll see a little more detail on the smaller time frames. We got a 3-day trigger that we need to close above their supply. And we almost hit it. Oh, man. I can't tell. I'm gonna send it to the back. Ooh, so close. Just want y'all to see this. So close. Like to the penny, actually. Like, dude, these indicators are insane. Man, somebody give Sean a shout out, man. Like what? Like how we doing this, man? This is cheating. We probably got the best edge in the stock market other than CTA machines. All right, so we need to close above this on a 3-day time frame. Once we do that, it's smooth selling. Got a fresh inverse on the day, floater, and a breaker structure. So we probably need to get above this liquidity area too. Right here. And this WTMA cloud. So actually, I'm just gonna move that up right there. Boom. That is a cupping handle. Yep. So yeah, we got a cupping handle. We got a bull pennant, all at the same level, like resisting it. So it's definitely compressing up to make a huge move. So add lean on y'all top down. Yeah, so we are already at all-time highs too. Yeah, hey, 10 minutes, it's gonna be that money right there. Hey, anybody heard from YG, man? He ain't got us our trip to Jamaica yet, and I'm kind of worried because I ain't heard from him in days. XLF got a fresh inverse arc and a floater. Definitely want to look at JPM, AXP. I think AXP like runs the most other than Goldman Sachs. I mean, Goldman Sachs is just too expensive to buy. Like it's a $900 stock. Yeah, no. He left without us. Oh man. He's like, man, I ain't paying for everybody's stuff. I'm out of here. I mean, that would get a little, expensive. But he did say that he was gonna do it. So now I'm gonna message him now. Now I gotta message him like, hey man, you left without us, dude? Let's see. Anybody got any more tickers? Manny over there asleep. He probably got the baby in his arms right now, asleep. Cause I know that's how I was. Baby hanging all out my arms. I'm over there knocked out on the couch. Just gonna do a quick scan on some of these. Just to make sure we don't miss nothing. Ooh, wow. I've been hearing a lot of buzz about Airbnb too, by the way. Ooh. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. I just found a stock that's approaching A+ trading range. Airbnb. I got you. So looking at the month on Airbnb, definitely arced up, flat, entangled WTMA. I got you, Mo Love. So right now we're above this trend line, which is super good. The weekly, we have a weekly trigger, so we need a weekly close above 140. Nope, the 143.88. If we get that, we're in A+ trading range with Airbnb with the ATR value of $10 per week. So yep, I'm gonna add that to the list. Where is that going? Yeah, put that over there. Cause you can see what happens once it get past this 147 zone. You already see it. And actually, like looking at the day, once it cleared, once it actually clears 144 even, it could just sprint up anyway, because this is like a crazy candle down. So you're looking at some huge movement on a Airbnb. That look like free money. You know what I'm saying? In Walmart. Boom. Walmart still got one of the best charts out there. So right now, Walmart is holding the WTMA on the monthly pretty good. Oh man. So looking at the weekly, oh man, somebody go get Sean. So Sean and I noticed that when we get those very, very shallow arcs followed by an inverse arc, it always does a crazy move. So right here, you got this very shallow inverse arc into empty nodes. Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and add that to yeah. Let me go ahead and put that over here now. Before I forget it. I forget a lot of stuff. So looking at the week, we're above the 200, the 12, the WTMA cloud, and we almost closed above this liquidity area. But I mean, you can clearly see that it swept that liquidity area and came back down. So now we're still at MDVRVP areas. So Walmart could shoot up. When are their earnings? May 14th. So, and I know that monthly contract ends on the 15th. So, hey, grab you some earning contracts for Walmart, because when it does explode up before the earnings, you just offload them right before earnings, or you hedge it. Well, you trim and then you hedge it and leave a runner. So you leave one runner and then you hedge it with the opposite. And then, whatever wins after that, I mean, it's house money at that point. And one of the trades probably going to win. So, well, I say probably going to win. One of them going to have to win. What am I saying? Unless it just opens flat. Like, that'll be insane for Walmart to do. All right, let's see if it got a 3-day trigger. Okay, so the trigger is the 3-day. We just closed above this trend line 2. We just got to change the character. Oh, the change of character was actually on that last candle. And then, so right now we just retesting, which is insane, because we retesting the WTMA cloud, this trend line, and oh wow, and this change of character. Oh yeah, dude, that's a clean retest right there. You see, he tried to, so we got the first breaker structure. Smart money tried to fake everybody out like it was about to rip, and then as soon as it went up, they was in profit. They snatched it right back, and then everybody started panic selling. Now they get back in right on the WTMA and this breaker structure level. Now we got a clean slate to just run back up. So I'm gonna put this right here. So now we got a clean slate to run up to 134 with, you know, maybe a 133 level of resistance, possible resistance. So yeah, Walmart look good. Let me see on the 2 hour. And same, look at that. That's the trigger right there. And boom, retest, boop. So now we just need to reclaim. Make sure that we ain't arcing on a smaller time frame. I really want the FEG. Oh, which time frame? Which one? Ooh, man, it done it hard, bro. What is going on? You talking about this one? No, man, don't. You know what? Hey, I'm with it. Just let me know when to do it, so I don't miss that trade, you know? Cause I miss so many trades, by the way. I want y'all to know, like, as much as, you know, I put out trade plans, I can't track all of them. So I definitely miss so many good trades. So many. Granted, I did catch ADI this week. I killed them. And I killed SPY today. But, man. Oh yeah, Tammy. Hey, you have a good weekend, man. I'm about to wrap it up anyway. Cause I smell food and I've been hungry all day. And we already over an hour. I'm ready for whatever, but those FEGs bound to be fine. Man, I know. Dude, look, oh, man. Look at this, man. Dude, man, this thing demolished my trade plan. That's insane. That's like price target 6. Sheesh. All right, let's see. Let's do one more scan just to make sure before I end. Dominion. Hey, wait a minute. Sean called this out the other week. It's just chilling. They do a lot of up and down. MU went crazy, absolute bonkers. FEGO just got a change of character. Oh, so they just broke. They all-time highs now. Yeah, another one that busted my trade plans. What in the world? Dude, look at this level 3 candle on the week on ARM. $68 this week. And you can tell there's a rectangle too. Hey, so let this be a lesson. When Sean say, "Hey man, look at this right here," you might want to hurry up and do a trade plan. Drop whatever you doing, do a trade plan on it. All right. Google look like it's trying to size up for a breakout. APP got a fresh arc, but we gave back up to 12. Datadog, fresh inverse. Net, Cloudflare on the month look ugly, but on the week, we reclaimed the WTMA. Dude, that AMD plan was so crazy, and I'm mad that I had a 300 trail stop on it because I was like, man, ain't no move gonna go down $300 that quick. Hustle, it stopped me out up like $2,000. I was like, man, it got me out. And then when it ripped back up, I was like, I should get back into this. I didn't. And then it gapped up like it did today. Hurt my soul. Hurt my soul. Oh yeah. Oh, yep. I'm about to wrap it up. This thunder and lightning is crazy. I don't want nothing to cut off midway. So hope y'all enjoyed the stream. I'm gonna get out of here because it's about to thunderstorm, and I'd much rather comfort my scared daughter. So hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend. I'll see y'all on Monday. Creole out.